Good evening, I'm Kurt Gutgsell. High school sports is open for business here in Indiana. Southridge will start their activities in all sports on Monday. Southridge AD Scott Buning on the Raiders' plan.
I think, like everybody else, we got together as county ADs. We all basically, I think, have a similar plan. We have, probably little small differences here and there, but we've had a lot of guidance and a lot of guardrails, so to speak, over the last few weeks, and we've had some changes, coming from the state here in the last couple of weeks recently, and what's been good is, I think what we've really seen, during this time is, we've had, I think you've seen a lot of people come together, a lot of cooperation amongst schools and in this role, athletic directors and even our parents. We kicked out something to them really a week and a half ago that we had basically needed to move on, per the IHSA, and our parents have been very understanding, very patient, as we've tried to do this so we can get our kids back and get them back with our program and our coaches. And I know our coaches are excited about it. We're excited about it. And I feel really good about where we're at with the information we have. It's I think it's like having your first child. You can read all the books you want and get all the information you can, but I feel like we've vetted this through a lot of different lenses. I'm sure we're going to find some holes we need to patch as we go, but we're surrounded by a lot of good people, and we'll be able to do that as we go.
Highlight some of the protocols that you guys will have in place with your coaches and your kids.
Well, it's been something. We've probably redone our plan, 15, 20 times. You put the plan together, and then it's like, well, what about this? And then what about this? And what about this? And we've figured out a way, to in regards to our strength training in the morning. That's probably the priority here in the summer. Is we need to get our athletes. And this is fairly unprecedented too. We've really never had 3-4 months off. Where we really don't know what the kids have been doing during that time. So, we're pretty well going to treat it as if they're coming back, and haven't done anything. So, and that's we'll figure that out as we go. We've got a plan, and we'll kind of work through that. But we're really, the first 2 weeks are going to be kind of an acclimation period for us. We're pretty fortunate that our football field, we've got a lot of parking around it. We have 4 different gates. We've got our field house, all kind of in a situation where we can create an environment where we're going to be checking kids in at each grade has its own parking lot. We have a specific time when they can actually get out of their vehicles, come to the gate, where we're going to have a coach. They're going to be checked in and pre-screened and some of those things. And then we'll have cones set up where they'll work through their warm-ups, when you've got that much room and to have the full turf area, it gives us plenty of room to work and operate and really to exceed the expectations that we've been given by our health department and the IHSA and the state. And so we'll have 3 coaches, our trainer here in the morning doing those things, and then we're going to take attendance at all our practices, and so we can document and track and make sure we're staying up on these things. And so like I said, I feel like we've got as good a plan as we can have together, but we also understand that we're going to adjust. If we can find a better way to do something, we're going to do it that better way, and then we're going to keep adjusting and evolving, and hopefully it's not a template we'll have to follow years and years down the road. But if it is, it is. Whatever is going to be responsible and safe and help us get an opportunity to come back and stay back consistently, but do it responsibly and safely, then we're very excited to do it that way.
I think one thing will be important, and kids need structure, whether it be back in the classroom or in an extracurricular activity. It's probably the safest place that they could be, maybe.
Well, you know, that's one. You know, public education generally is a very fairly conservative environment, and I think that's a good thing. But it provides a lot of structure, you know, throughout the day. I think in a lot of respects, you know, early on, I remember a teacher talking about, if we figure out we can do this virtually, then you know we may not have classrooms anymore. And my opinion at the time was no, I think we're going to find out the exact opposite. And just how important, you know, the structure, the socialization, the personal interaction, and those things are. And I think we've learned that. And the same within the role of education-based athletics. You know, when you look at education-based athletics and the role that we play and having these kids, giving them some structure, getting them around, you know, people who are passionate about our school, about our sports, you know, teachers, coaches, administration, our secretaries, our cafeteria workers, I mean, our maintenance staff. I mean, everybody, you know, everybody plays a role, you know, in our community and here within our building. And I think, you know, it's something that, you know, there's, you know, as we continue to get our guidance, but we've got to continue to work, I think, to try to get this part back, you know, and again, it's got to be safely, it's got to be responsibly, it's got to be, you know, and all those kind of things, you know, and I think that's the hard part is nobody's real sure, you know, exactly how this is, you know, and it's kind of a moving target at times, but, you know, and a lot of parents I've talked to, you know, I kind of worried at times, I didn't know, you know, well, it's such and such, you know, or is it going to hurt our numbers and those kind of things, but I think we're finding out the opposite in a lot of respects that, you know, families and parents want to get their kids back and involved in this setting, you know, and so hopefully we can do that and do it consistently and like I said, safely and responsibly at the same time.
Going on tonight, the Jasper Reds back in action in semi-pro baseball. They are at Huntingburg League Stadium with a doubleheader against Saline County, Illinois. The Reds are 2-0 on the young season. Stay tuned. We'll have more WJTS 18 news right after this.